into this incredible, magnificent, beautiful, 10 out of 10 Leo season 2024. We're going to be breaking down everything, every last thing. We're going through all the stuff, actually. But for real, what's good, y'all? So we are entering into Leo season. I have been so excited to bring y'all this astrology 101 that I have been working on for such a long time. And I think that one of the concepts here and one of the main things that I really want to put across to y'all is just the love. Like, I really think about it sometimes, and the fact that I get to get up every day, do what I love, and help impact people based off of something that I truly care about and always have care about is the type of currency money really can't buy. And I really did want to start off this live stream first and foremost with gratitude for y'all who have come through, who have gotten a reading, who have supported my work, either silly or serious or anything in between. It means a lot to me, especially coming from, the situation that I did to figure out how to operate and produce, content and put everything together when I had nothing at a certain point. And, I've had a lot of ups and downs with this. And every time I start to lose hope, or anytime I've ever questioned myself about this path or how I'm helping people, I would say, one of y'all pop out of nowhere to remind me and show me love or give me a piece of gratitude that I had no idea of. And it's just been a beautiful thing to be able to do. And I'm forever grateful for y'all to help me live out my dreams and to, in reciprocity, I always pronounce that incorrectly, but whatever. But in the reciprocal, me being able to help guide y'all to y'all dreams through the stars and through the conversations that I have with y'all. So I just wanted to at least start off this live stream just genuinely thanking y'all for the gratitude, the time, and y'all be showing up for these, yo. You know what I'm saying? I turn around, I'm like, yo, I don't even know who's going to pop up, and everyone pops up, and I'm like, yo, what's up? This is beautiful, You would love a mini reading. Can figure out how to sign up. Yes, I am doing mini readings today as well. And the sidebar to this mini reading is that anyone who signs up for a mini reading today, you are in the chance to win a free ticket to my Astrology 101 Masterclass that is happening this Saturday. So I would love for you to end up popping in. Anyone who gets a mini reading, you end up getting a rock through, no problems, no issue at all. For those of y'all who are looking for that, I just ended up pinning the message inside of the actual the comment section. So, make sure that you logged in, you liked it and everything else like that. If you're not subscribed, what are you doing? You feel me? Regardless of that, let's start to talk more about this Leo season. I really kind of want to dive into this other part before I get distracted, to be honest with you. And in the interim, I'm going to be working pretty much from now until Saturday. Outside of my regular day-to-day work, I'm going to be just working on making the Astrology 101 as dope as possible. So it does take a lot of preparation, I'm not going to lie, but I make it look easy though. So none the wiser to y'all, none the wiser. All right. So let's start to talk about what's going on. For anyone who wants to read along to what the timeline is of what I'm talking about, make sure that you end up hopping on to, what's it called? What was I going to say? Go to my newsletter, or either go to my newsletter or it's in the description, and I'm going to be poking or pointing out all of the dates where things are starting and changing. If there's anything that you're really particular about and you want to know more about, this is more so to open up the door for that, just to show you what's going on. I didn't keep every date as far as when things end, but I'm going to be doing the best off the top of my head to just really explain the energy signatures of everything. So let's talk about the first day of Leo season, because what is astrology without being so thorough, right? So on the first change, when we entered into Leo season, We entered into it on a full moon. As a matter of fact, it was a blue moon in Capricorn. When there's a full moon in Leo season, it's supposed to be in Aquarius. So just to kind of give you that context, it's not supposed to be in Capricorn. Now, Aquarius and Capricorn are both ruled by Saturn. There's a certain weight that ended up pulling through in terms of getting to this Leo season phase. Cancer season was really heavy emotionally, whereas Leo season is supposed to kind of be the push point where you start to believe in yourself more. You start to go towards your passions. You really tap into the things that you care about. But on the other side of this, we have Pluto in Aquarius that's about to go back into Capricorn towards November. And one of the ideas behind this Pluto and Aquarius part is that all of the new change and the change when it comes to AI, when it comes to how the news and media interacts with the public, that's another thing with the Aquarius thing, right? We are in such a strange time, and I'm going to be careful about this because I'm a YouTube partner, but we're in such a strange time where the former prez, regardless of how you feel about him, the former prez almost got clipped in front of an entire world, whoever was watching, right? And everybody had to kind of just get up and go to work the next day. I think one of the most interesting parts to the start and onset of this Leo season is that it's really digging into this core root of the people. I think in the next 5 months, 6 months, if I'm being transparent, people are going to be super fed up with the way things have been going, with the way that, I mean, not to say that people aren't now, but it's going to be a different octave. The reason why, and this isn't to scare you, but the reason why this Leo season, in my personal opinion, is so important that it's like, you need to know where you are at. Screw everything else. Not to say screw everything else, but like, you need to know what you're doing. And the problem that we've been having as a society, especially due to the advent of social media, as much as I love it, as much as it's been a great platform, as much as it's been able to help me connect to y'all, when it's not used properly, we are in the minds of literally every single person who chooses to use it. We are taking in so much information every day. And let's say you don't do social media. Guess what? The news took a lot of info and a lot of vibes that they got from TikTok. They had some people studying that. So when we get into these articles, when you see these newsreels that are like 60 seconds and are abiding by these different rules of social media, I think a lot of people are like slowly getting detached. And that's not particularly a bad thing. But I will say, for those who have had a lot of hope for society, or a lot of the love and light crowd, so to speak, it's really tough because it's hard to be like, hey, yo, love and light, everything's beautiful. And then you turn around and it's like, did that just happen? Right? I remember a time frame where I was a kid and people used to talk about oh my God, I would want to be president, but they meant that in a high prestige kind of thing, right? Now, and although we are getting into different transitions, and I'm not trying to get political about anything, I stopped trusting that stuff when I was 2012? Yeah, 2012 is when I was the circus is for all the people who choose to be in it, But the idea when it gets to that is that there's so much misinformation. There's just so much talk, even people getting into different search engines. The reason why I got so adamant about me doing the astrology 101 truly is because I used to be able to look stuff up on Google and immediately find all the stuff I was looking for. I was looking at my own chart. I have Venus and Scorpio, for example. So when I used to look up this stuff, I'm like, oh, if y'all couldn't tell. Anyway, but when I have Venus and Scorpio, right? So the idea is I'm like, all right, let me look this up. Let me see what's up. And it would pop up and it would give me decent information, and I would have to crawl a little bit, and that's cool. Nowadays, you look up anything astrology wise and it's all bought out by different companies who caught on to the wave of astrology. Because for those of y'all who don't know, astrology is a 2.2 billion business. A lot of people don't know that. The concept though, and the reason why I'm mentioning all this in this process is because, did you know that astrology was a $2.2 billion business? No. But it's weird. It's niche. Who even does astrology anyway? Who even knows that stuff? Who's even spiritual? See how it's like, but mind you, I can go up to someone who doesn't believe in astrology and they only believe in the numbers and they only believe in that. And I tell them the amount in the industry and suddenly their respect for me changes. I play around like with stuff like this all the time, especially with just random people. But the idea of this is that like the Leo to Aquarius start to this season is really trying to have people step into where are they at. Because I'm going to let you know this right now, super ahead of time. There's going to be a lot of stupid drama in the news over the course of the next month specifically and later on. Leo season wants you to be like, yo, this is my shine. This is where I stand. And this is how I feel about what's going on with that. People can have their own opinions, but that doesn't sway where I'm at. So Leo season wants you to stand in your fire, stand in your truth, and stand in your passion in all of these regards. So I hope that gives a little bit of context. And it's supposed to be hopeful. When I'm saying all this stuff, it's not to be like, oh, it is failing us. What I'm saying is that it's like we have the sovereignty, there we go, to really believe in our own hearts and the things that we care about to push it forward. So I did want to give y'all that context. This is kind of this was the first moment that Leo stepped into that. But this is the themes that ended up kind of coming up in the collective for it. All right. Allow me to continue. So mark your calendar too for July 25th, right? July 25th, we have Mercury in Virgo. And the reason why Mercury in Virgo is so critical, yes. So Mercury goes into Virgo, but by August 4th, Mercury goes retrograde again. I highly recommend that everybody during Mercury in Virgo get your ducks in a row. What do I mean by this? I know I have ADHD. A lot of the people that I care about have some type of like, this is how it goes, right? But the idea of that is like one of the worst things and one of the things that we hate as people who may have ADD or ADHD, whatever the case is like schedules. It's schedules and this, and I have to write out my intentions and what is that, right? Meanwhile, I watch some successful people who are older and they're talking about their experiences and they're like, how'd you end up getting so much success? They're like, well, I just sat there. I wrote everything down. And because I wrote everything down and I had it there, it was easier for the universe to kind of allow the rest of the stuff to happen because I put it out there. I was like, gosh, that's a genius thing. But Mercury and Virgo, truly, this is like getting your ducks together in a row. This is you getting yourself together. Mercury rules Virgo, right? As a matter of fact, I think Virgo is the true home sign of Mercury and not Gemini. But we'll get to, I forgot to put Mars in Gemini. I'm gonna talk about that in a second. But actually, let's add this in. We also have Mars in Gemini. Mars just went into Gemini 2 days ago. Gemini and Virgo, right, are both Mercury ruled. When Mercury goes into Virgo and Mars is in Gemini, as the concept of those two communicative signs having their clash with the square that exists between them. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, come to my Astrology 101. There's a reason why I wanted to do the 101, because when I explain stuff like this and you get anything lost in the terms, you're not going to be lost again. So make sure you check that out. Anyway, back to what I am saying. Mars being in Gemini, this is really where people's words are a little bit sharper than normal. They have a little bit more gravitas, a little more oomph, right? The rumor mill starts to get a little bit louder. There's just an unnecessary drama, he said, she said kind of thing that pops up a lot of the time. And this is obviously not a fun thing to deal with, but the reason why Mercury and Virgo, again, so important, similar to why the sun went into Leo. Sun wants you to claim your heart. Mercury and Virgo wants you to really write down like what it is that you like truly want to bring to the table, what it is that you truly want to like be and become. Like if you haven't gotten to the exercise routine, get that together for Mercury and Virgo. Because if you can get anything together, and this is my biggest like hack for y'all. I honestly did this something similar during this is actually some astro sauce. I don't talk about this a lot, but like if you really use the retrogrades as the retrogrades, right? and you take the genuine advice that people tell you, where it's like, oh, slow down, do this. If you really implement that, like seriously, by the time that transit ends, you launch forward so fast. It's like a spring. It's like a catapult, right? You're pulling it back, slowing down. And as soon as everybody else was doing too much, that's the power of Mercury retrograde in that regard. So mind you, it's not going retrograde until August 4th. So that's not an immediate thing to worry about. Throughout this month, it's not going to be retrograde. But we are starting to feel the effects. We are in what's known as the pre-shadow. So we are feeling it. You've probably heard me stumble over my words. There's been like some little mishaps and things in between. But the main point that I'm trying to make here is that Mercury and Virgo really wants you to like be honest, detail the thing out, list out what it is that you really desire, and let the universe help you through it. Because it's also Leo season, what's in your heart? Put that on paper. Pen to paper. I cannot stand when I say pen to paper on purpose and somebody pulls up and they're like, can I write it on my iPad? It's like, did you accomplish anything you've ever written on your iPad afterward? Maybe. But pen to paper, canonically, even in terms of like people who practice magic of any sort, etc., it is super different, right? Autumn just said she's feeling it bad. Like, yeah, the Mercury retrograde, I was even 2 minutes late to this. I was here the whole time. It just took a second to set other things up. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the kind of thing that starts to happen due to that word. So what else do I have to talk about? Because not only is it Mercury and Virgo, but as soon as Mercury goes into Virgo, which is all about the details, it's all about the specifics, right? We have Chiron going retrograde in Aries. Word. Now listen, Chiron retrograde in Aries. If y'all haven't seen my Chiron class yet, I would highly recommend checking it out, right? I studied Chiron for like all the master classes that I did so far for free were just to like honestly like get me prepped to do my astrology 101, which is why I'm like, if you watch through those and you realize that I'm going to be actually like showing the astrology and I'm going to be bringing you through charts and I'm going to be having up my PowerPoint and doing the whole thing, it's a little different. But I do think initially and intrinsically that astrology is a spoken art, in my personal opinion. At least throughout the ages and such, it was a very passed down orative kind of thing, which is why I really enjoy doing this. But Chiron going retrograde in Aries. Oh man, this is going to really be difficult for a lot of people who can't see their faults and say, but that's okay. Sometimes people can get into this, I'm going to say hole, right? Or this like spiral, if I want to say, right? They get into this spiral with like Chiron, or they get into the spiral about like, if I do something bad or if I do something people don't like, that means that I am bad and I'm something that people don't like. Let me point this out one more time. Sometimes, right? And I hope somebody's resonant to this so you can understand this part. But sometimes people are so caught up where if they get bad news about something they did, they intrinsically take that on like it's them, right? That's not particularly the case. But I'm going to be transparent. Chiron going retrograde is going to be a certain amount of pressure of the things that you choose to do. Have you noticed that there's still been, I've been talking about different stuff, but have you noticed that there's still been like this core theme through? Why? Because at the heart of it, ironically, we are still talking about Leo season. So the sun, no matter what's going on, will color every aspect of the 30 days of whatever sign it's in. So just to kind of give you a little more thought, the sun colors how we all perceive the vast amount of energy. Sun is the closest thing, heats us up, you know what I'm saying? I'm hot right now. Sun's almost going down. The sun is very powerful. So with that being said, the Leo season is still taking over this. So how is the Leo in the Chiron portion of things going to be working with one another? Well, do you think you can achieve your actual vision? I think a lot of people get scared of what their actual vision is. You get what I'm saying? I'm gonna be super transparent. I love astrology. I'm always gonna do astrology. But in my core of things, I at a certain point, and I think part of why people have been seeing my production quality change, and like every time I do something, I'm trying something different, I'm adding something in. Because in my heart of hearts, I've always wanted to be a creative director, right? And that's, or like, just always work with creatives and spiritualists and everything else like that. And the thing is that you don't know what that's going to look like, right? Right now, the reason why I've been a little bit more quiet is that I recently have just been made head of production of this multimedia company known as Stars Align, and we are working on an astrology dating app that is going to be out in this upcoming August. It's going to be launching specifically in LA to begin with, but then we are going global sooner than you know. This has been something I've been working on in the background, right? Actually, not even the background. That's my day-to-day thing, you know. But I just kind of wanted to put that out there because that's something that's exciting. And I can't wait to show y'all more as it starts to develop. It just happened recently, but I'm hyped to show you the result of that. So if you want to just stay tuned in, make sure that you check out the Stars Align page, and I'm going to be posting more about it as we start to launch anyway. So just wanted to let you know. Anyway, not anyway, but anyway. But I guess anyway, depending on how you feeling. Not the point. Chiron and Aries, retrograde. Again, back to it. Comedy aside. Can you take the core wound that you have and transmute it? Because one thing that we see happen, right? One thing that we truly see happen when it comes to like different medias and different like totalities, we'll see the people have their like coming of age story, right? And they're having their coming of age story. They're stepping into the new arena, and you watch this happen. And then there's always something that challenges them. Or maybe there's something that they can't fix, right? I can't think of, I know the Iron Giant, and I hope this has some, like it resonates with somebody's type deal, because like the Iron Giant is the Chiron retrograde in Aries movie to watch. I literally have parts of that movie blocked out of my brain just because I know how like, that is. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just want to let you all know that is part of that aspect. Oh, 1 second. I'm getting a little hype over here. 1 sec. Yeah. The app idea is amazing. Yeah, no, we have mad developers on it. It's been a really cool time to start to develop that. We're still doing a lot of behind the scenes stuff to make sure that the launch is cool and everything else like that. But like, I can't wait to put my obnoxious amount of learning about audio, video, and everything else in between to use. Huzzah. So, closer to a creative director, not quite there, but this is where I'm like, don't let the stuff on the way stop you. Because prior to that, in my own journey, and every time I talk about this, I have an Aries rising, so that's why I use this. But like prior to that, I would say 2 years ago, I literally could not see that being a possibility. Like I had to fight my way for it. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, you have to understand that this is that in between. You know what I'm saying? Your kids watch that movie till it's broke. Literally on that day, I'm gonna have to watch it and just like go through that whole emotional phase again. You feel me? Anyway, now what's happening after this, right? Well, we are then going to enter again, like I said, into that new moon phase. Or sorry, August 4th. Let's start with August 4th. I apologize. August 4th, right? August 4th, we have the new moon in Leo, which I will be doing a full live stream for. You're going to be good. I'll be doing a full live stream. We're doing a new moon in Leo. We have Venus going into Virgo as Mercury retrograde starts. Again, Mercury rules Virgo. So Mercury is going retrograde in Virgo. Venus is going into Virgo. Now listen. I love my Venus and Virgos. Y'all have some of the most beautiful, mostly ladies. I can't speak for everybody else. Ladies in the Zodiac. Not going to put it past y'all. Y'all really do. But there's one thing all across the board that I'll be seeing with Venus and Virgo, and it pains my heart when it happens. But it's like, y'all want everyone else to be their best version of them. And you know exactly what to point out in order for them to do it. And sometimes people take that like offensively. And you mean that in the kindness of your heart. But this is like if someone's like, hey, man, you've been kind of eating a lot. You might be getting a little bit bigger. And someone's like, whoa, you can't say that. But Venus and Virgo is saying that really specifically based off of just the fact of, and not even to offend, not even to affect, not even to anything else. And they'll probably like offer them something else in the process. Or like, hey, you've really been like kind of messy the last bit. Do you mind cleaning up a little bit more? But like when a Venus and Virgo says that, it's like, oh my God, I've ruined everything. I have never, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, so the idea of this, right, is that Venus going into Virgo while Mercury retrograde starts. Remember when I told you the whole you got to fix your life thing? This is why you do it early. The thing with transits, I'm going to be so honest. The thing with transits is that transits, I love them. Because if you follow them as properly as you can, and I'm not saying you have to be perfect. I'm not saying you have to follow everything to a T. But if you can notice those patterns of those planetary changes in your life, when that other thing happens, you don't get impacted, you get rewarded by something, right? But when you deny that, that's when it's like, oh man, 2 weeks ago I said I was going to learn that lesson, but here I am. Excuse me. But that's kind of just the aspect when it comes to all of this word. Now, the new moon in Leo is going to be super important because this new moon in Leo is going to be really making you choose your craft, choosing your medium. As a matter of fact, it feels like on a new moon in Leo, you're kind of getting quote unquote sorted into your Hogwarts house. I'm using this in an analogy, but the new moon in Leo is like, well, if you're a part of Ravenclaw, that's because you're really smart. You have a lot of academic nature. We're going to place you there. Be proud of where you're at. If you're in Gryffindor, as we know, overrated, no play. But if you're in Gryffindor, you are supposed to be of courage and of heart. It doesn't matter what sign you are or anything else like that. This is just a quality you have. This is the role that you're playing. This is the house you've been sorted into. When it comes to the reality in your world for this new moon in Leo, what house are you getting sorted into? But how are you still willing to stand outside of that, right? I think a really great example in terms of, let's just say that same thing. Harry Potter was supposed to be in Slytherin. Ron was supposed to be in Hufflepuff, and Hermione was supposed to be in Ravenclaw, but they all got put into Gryffindor, and they still, honestly, in their day-to-day, act like they're from those houses, but they got put into the other one. And them joining together, they all kind of found their roles in their own different ways to shine. I know this is a different type of analogy, but this is the combination of that Leo energy of sticking up for what you care for and also bringing your own unique parts and talents to the table. And with Mercury going retrograde as well, we are taking it back. You know what I'm saying? Like we are bringing it back, a nostalgic time, taking time out. I'm going to be so transparent with y'all. I think I might take off Mercury retrograde from readings. I've been thinking about this for a hot minute. I haven't fully decided yet, but I think I might do that in general. Yeah, it's just been something I've been thinking about. Just my personal readings. I'll still be doing the ones that I do for like DSA, and I'll still be going live and stuff. But it's just something I've been thinking about. So if you haven't gotten a reading, schedule one right now before I'm just on some like, yeah, I'm just not going to do readings for a month because I'm kind of feeling that for some reason. And I do my best to follow my intuition. I'm not giving up. I'm not going to not just keep posting stuff. But that was something I've been thinking about for a while. Just to kind of regain, restructure things, whatever. But, so mind you, even with that and even with what I'm saying, I'm thinking about something that I can do for a retrograde way beforehand. You need to get on that the minute that Mercury goes into Virgo. Think about what it is that you need to do and what it is you need to step back on and what it is you need to wait for and what you need to pounce on. It'll all come to you. Don't stress it. But that time frame is going to be when that opens up for the entire collective. But the best part about trans is if you pay attention to them a little bit before, like right now watching this video, things are so different. I promise you. Anyway, moving forward from that, new moon in Leo, again, I will be covering on this channel. No worries. So now we have on August 14th, we're going to have Mars in Gemini conjunct Jupiter. My bad, y'all. I hate when it gets super hot and then it just gets cold and it gets weird. It's not my favorite. Anyway, so we're going to be getting into this next part, right? So moving forward, again, once we hit August 14th, so that whole, mind you, August 4th to the 14th is mainly just being run by that retrograde. So like, it's going to be going from Mercury back into Leo. So it's like, here are the details. Okay, now I realize what I actually love about this. Cool. Now it's going direct. How am I going to bring in the details and the in-betweens of what I actually love and properly put it forth for the world to see? That's going to be the change there, right? So August 14th is the next big day that happens. Why? Because we have Mars and Gemini conjunct Jupiter. So to be transparent, again, this has a lot of layers to it. And I truly hope that there's not something on a, world scale that kind of happens with this. But Mars conjunct Jupiter. Mars is the planet of action. Mars is, unfortunately, in some cases, the planet of war. And if you know right now, there are a few large-scale events happening in various countries across the world, unbeknownst to their citizens, and people are getting harmed in those spaces that don't particularly deserve it, and hurting people in any capacity is wrong. Why am I saying this like this? Because Mars and Gemini conjunct Jupiter on a big scale could be you getting some news about them doing something even more treacherous. So the news, just to give you context, during this time is going to announce something else stupidly dumb. And it's going to impact people on your day-to-day a little bit. But where does this become important? And why am I mentioning this to you? Be so mindful that if anything does happen of any variety like that, right? With that Mars in conjunct Jupiter, this is one of those things where it's like, to talk about it with the wrong folk might bring up more of a tizzy than you want to. So I'm saying this in urge of caution in terms of just the general overtone, because everybody kind of on their BS for a bit. What I can say on a good note when it comes to Mars conjunct Jupiter and Gemini, if you are waiting to speak a truth, if you've been waiting to like launch something that's important, if you've been waiting to make that huge, big move, I'm going to be so honest with y'all. This, like, August 14th sounds like the best day, almost, if you will, to like shoot your shot at like who you're rocking with. And like, it's funny to say, because it's like on one end, it's like, oh my God, there might be something really bad. And I'm not saying this to scare y'all. This is stuff that you see too. So I'm just trying to say that in this process, I'm not a doom and gloom astrologer in the slightest, but that is something I do have to keep in mind to y'all. Like, I can't lie about that. The other parts of this, right? Mars and Gemini conjunct Jupiter, done right. This is like you signing off on that big check. This is you signing off on a huge contract. This is you like actually asking that person to be with you, not even on a date. Like, hey, I think we should really be together. That's one of those times where like bravery or luck honors the brave in that capacity as well. So I just want to give you that context in that process. So we've talked about a lot of things thus far. Does anyone have any questions? Please make sure that you drop them down. I'm almost done with this main part. Then I'll pull for the cards. I don't think anyone signed up for a mini reading yet, but I think that's part to do with my inability to properly send the link out. But that's okay. That's crazy, though. I definitely was offering a free potential astrology one-on-one gift ticket for people who are signing up for mini readings. But like, if y'all don't want it, that's cool too. I ain't mad at you. So let's push this forward though, right? So August 18th, right? On August 18th, we have Mercury Cazimi. And so everything that is going to be culminating throughout this Leo season, this is the review of the entire Leo season that you have. And on August 18th, you get to make that like that final choice or that final revelation or that final eureka moment. What is a Mercury Cazimi? That's when Mercury meets the heart of the sun. That's when the planet of communication meets with that retrograde. Or is that what they're in? Yes, it meets with that retrograde, and then it gives all of the information moving forward as to how your energy guides, higher self, etc., is trying to push you forward as well. So that's also something to keep in mind for that. August 18th is going to be a good day as well for meditation. Anything that has to do, like sun salutation. I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but I'm just picturing that, like, those people who be like outside, like naked, being like, I put my, you know what, to the sun just to get the energy in. I don't know why it reminds me specifically of that, and I hope not to be too lewd about it. That's to YouTube, not to y'all. Y'all know me, I don't care. But when it comes to that, it's like there is this like kind of opening yourself up to the newness of things and to really allowing the what am I trying to say? Like the sun is really trying to make sure that you get the information that you've been missing out on, and the last details of whatever it is that you haven't clicked in on Leo season, it's going to reveal itself to you. Now, are you going to take that and move throughout Virgo season with those lessons? That is for you to see. But this is an important day for the collective in order to see that specifically, right? And lastly, just to break down, this is the last major transit that I was seeing when I went through my Leo season. Granted, there's a lot of stuff that happens in between, but these are the major days and dates and times that I really want to pinpoint. And the last one we have is August 19th with the full moon in Leo, and Venus in Virgo is going to be opposite Saturn in Pisces. Full moon in Aquarius. Again, this is one of those things that is going to be put on this channel, and I'm going to go live about, right? So do not fret. But the main part that I am trying to get to is Venus and Virgo opposite Saturn and Pisces, because like this is a day that's going to show you how much devotion you have, how much more devotion you need, and where do you need to actually aim and pinpoint more of your energy. Do you see like the themes of this Leo season so far? Everything I've been talking about is about basically monitoring, tapping into, appreciating, registering, healing, acknowledging, and detailing the very specific essence of your heart. Do you care more about the opinion of the world, or do you care about what you got put on this world to do? Because oftentimes those things are at both ends of the spectrum. But this Leo season is like, it wants to choose the brave. It wants to choose the courageous. It wants to choose those who are willing to take the leap, right? Part of why a lot of y'all resonate with me is because there was a time that I jumped up and I did that, right? This is the vibe of all of that in the process. And I appreciate y'all for pulling through, kicking it with me, talking about it for a hot second. But that's going to be the overarching vibe to this Leo season in terms of the astrology. I'm about to be pulling the cards in just a second. But does anyone have any questions interim? I'm about to go look through the comments again. Astrology 101 is this Saturday. Can't wait for that. But yeah, let's see. Light code from Soul Shine. You know. Do you think that I'm one of the most knowledgeable astrologers? Thank you. No, for real, like I really do appreciate it. All jokes aside, it's still Leo season, so I'm gonna goof off a little. But like genuinely speaking, I do appreciate that. I do take my craft very seriously. In my day to day, I'm macho, but like, you know, I take my craft serious. So I appreciate that love. You told me about you told another astrologer that's overbooked that they should hire me. They can. We should talk about it. You know? You don't understand why I don't have 100K viewers. I've been too honest. The real reason, like genuinely, someone else is like, why don't you have 100K viewers? I've been too honest. I am not the average person people expect to do the job that I do. People who don't know me first often, based off of simple appearance alone, don't think that I know what I'm doing or talking about with terms of this. I've had some interesting scenarios pop up, and I'm a very new face to this this larger scale part of astrology, I would say. And the reason why I might not have the 100K is because I'm putting the people on. So the next person that wants that 100K is going to go get it. I never was trying to just grow as like a channel or nothing. Like the only time I was focused on growth in that capacity was just to bring more of y'all to pretty much here so we can have real conversation. Like the memes are all fun. They're games and all of that. Like I have a big following on Instagram, all things considered. It's not the hugest following, but that wasn't ever a goal of mine. I wasn't like, I need to be famous. Like that's not what I'm coming from. I need to be real and I need to affect people who really are looking for information. I want to change people's like hearts who are looking to find that change. Like I don't care about our other stuff. Like there's 100,000 people who are going to find me in the next year, 2 years. I'm not worried about that. What I care about is you right here. What I care about is the people who be signing up and showing love or just commenting, whatever, speaking to me in prop. Like that's what I care about. I care about my community. I care about the people that I'm trying to foster, and I care about my friends. You know, like that's what I care about. So all the other stuff, that is what it is. But for the actual in between of this is so serious. So like, this is really what this is what I care about. I love doing this. I love astrology. It has been the one thing that has helped me gain so much confidence. And people are like, you're so confident. Why do you know this? I'm like, I know my chart. I've studied it like endlessly and I'm able to like really rock with people from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's helped me understand the world around me, the people that I know, and I want to help gift y'all the same thing. That's why I'm doing the Astrology 101. I'm not BSing. I'm giving y'all real examples. I'm giving y'all this other stuff. Like, I can't speak for every astrologer ever. There's some phenomenal astrologers out there. Anytime I see one of my fellow astrologers that I love, or spiritualists that I love, or creatives that I love, I do my best to share it on my story or to tell somebody else about it. Or in real life, I speak really highly of the people who be doing that stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really about this. But it's just one of those situations so where it's like, you know, you have to figure out what drives your heart, what drives the ship. I'm a triple fire sign. I'm a passionate guy, if y'all couldn't tell. Not for real. But it's just all seriousness aside. When it comes to that, like the passion of like making sure that that's like properly executed, that's what Leo season is trying to bring out of all of us, right? A lot of people think I'm a Leo, but it's just because my hair is long now, you know what I'm saying? But like, but yeah, so I hope that give a little insight. I'm kind of yapping at this point, but that's what live streams are for. Okay, so I can definitely feel myself getting stronger and kicking anxiety and fears. We'd love to see it. I don't know if that's because of Mars return right now. It probably is. Mars return in that aspect is going to make you braver and make you step up into more of your power for sure. 73 and watching this video. Appreciate you for showing up. I love that. Let's go. All age, everybody, you know what I'm saying? Because this is really for everybody, as the sky is above everybody. You know, we owe y'all here. So appreciate you for showing up. Thank you. I do an amazing vibe. Hey. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to read these off. It's all love. I really do appreciate y'all. I love everybody, you know what I'm saying? And whenever I also see people who are just older in general, like take to astrology or love it, or like maybe you just came across it, maybe you've been reading. I love seeing that because like, I don't know, it's something so beautiful. I love the Benjamin Button effect that people have too, to where it's like sometimes people do have to wait until like, there's a very Capricorn type thing, but sometimes people do have to wait until they're like older to fully realize all the things that they like and stuff. And so to see people start to just do that anytime makes me so happy. So like I really do mean that in like all the sincerity. Like I'm hype about that. Hey, let's go. You that man. Much love. But I appreciate you, man. Art, if art with words pops up here, it says well said. I know I'm right. That is a poet. Man's is an entire poet. So if he said I'm kidding, listen to him. He right. 100%. Much love, bro. All right. Whoosh. No worries. And it's like, I wasn't saying that to be negative. Like I know my world around me. I don't feel no type of way about it. That's life, you know what I'm saying? Black man in America, you feel me? Come on. But like, I don't get fazed by it. I just know the parts of my reality that is. And I know that me doing the work I'm doing now is going to help transmute that for the rest of my Pluto and Saturn generation coming up. And then we ain't going to have none of those problems in 10 years. That's what I'm doing. Low key. But, okay, cool. Let me just get into the readings now. My fault. I just know where my brain's at, and I don't want to like start rambling off forever. Although I do appreciate y'all appreciating me do that. But what is the overarching theme of this Leo season? What do we need to see? I just saw one of the homies, Shafali, popped in. Let's go. Hey. Ooh, hold on. I know you said something really nice. I want to read it in a second. But we got a Leo just pop up a second ago. I said, what do we need to know as a Leo? Leo popped up. Can't make this stuff up. You feel me? All right. Okay. What do we need to know? Leo season, full collective. What's the vibe? And I want to point something out to y'all. I'm feeling this from the heart, right? This is one of those keys. I'm going to start giving y'all an astrology 101. So pull through because like Leo season is all about the heart. Ooh. When you walk away, you don't hear me say, please, oh baby, don't go simple. Let me stop. But the idea of this, for real, you got to walk away from what is not making you feel love. Let's put this card down one more time. You gotta walk away from whatever it is that's not making you feel love. As human beings, all we knew being born, according to Jeebus and other traditions, we were all born in love. We were all born from love. We were all born from light. And here's the part that gets so interesting. When things do get to a point where it's hard to like step out of or move out of, this card showing up, right? I don't want to walk away. What if I walk away and nothing good pops up? What if I leave behind a thing? What if I like stop for a second and blah, blah, blah? Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune. Literally the Wheel of Fortune. So it's like, with the Wheel of Fortune being on here, that new strike of luck, that new part to growth, that new part to making yourself exactly what you wanted to set out to be, that's what's being activated. That heart is what's being activated. That true part to you is what's being activated. So I know, again, it's hard for people to walk away from stuff that they know isn't meant for them. Like, it's hard for everybody. But guess what? There are others. I thought this is someone specific in here too. There are others who have been looking to you this entire time. This is like, all right, I'm going to give you an example. Just so you peep. I'm going to make it up because, but this is like you being like, oh, shoot, I don't want to leave my job. Let's say your boss barks in your face every single day, spitting the whole nine. It's like, why do I smell your lunch, your tuna, fish, eating, blah, get out my face, right? He's just barking at you every day. You're trying to do your stuff. They're barking at you, whatever, right? This combination is like, oh, I'm scared to quit because what if I never find another thing? Meanwhile, you've put in different applications. Meanwhile, you've talked to the universe. Meanwhile, you've gotten that side hustle aspect of what you want to do together. And you're like, oh, what if we do all this, right? When I tell you that this is you saying, you want to know what? I am out regardless because I need to for my heart. And that's you leaving that job, popping up the next day, and all of those applications that you put in all coming on that Monday. That's like you saying, I'm out on that Friday. Like, I can't do this anymore. Y'all have been hurting me for too long. My heart is hurt. I'm following my heart and I gotta go. I'm gonna figure it out. That's like you leaving on that Friday. Like, I'm out, I'm gone. I'm taking all my stuff with me. And you waking up on Monday morning to 3 different job opportunities that are all ready to like move your heart forward. Now, granted, if you're in that position, I hope that can happen for you if you choose that route. But this is more so an analogy of like, don't let your past hold you back. Don't let what was going on prior keep you from what the future could be. And that sucks to say. And I know retrograde is going to come back. So you're going to be like, what do you mean? Don't let the past affect you. Why is the past coming back? That's what retrograde does. It just wants to show you where you come from so you can see how far that you've came and how far you still got to go. Ooh, I be having some moments in these live streams, I ain't gonna lie. Regardless, there are people who are still looking to you. They want your expertise. They want your talents. And granted, here's the thing. You're a hot commodity. You are a hot commodity. So the people might be over there arguing. People might be over there fighting and all that because they're trying to kind of fight for, I'm saying they're trying to fight for you. And the reason why I'm trying to say that is that like everybody who doesn't really have heart, I'm not saying they don't have a heart, but people who don't, then again, who knows, right? But like for people who like don't have heart, you can see where some people's egos get mixed up in certain things, right? Where it's like, if you see somebody shine, that doesn't mean that you can't shine too. That just means that their shine might be attracting a different thing. You get what I'm saying? Or their shine might be pulling up. What I'm really saying is that for this Leo season, you got to really help navigate your shine and other people's shine. So it's like, you can either be on your major hater stuff, right? Or you can celebrate those who are around you. And I want to say this in general, and I don't know if this is true in its totality or not, but like, I feel like my life in general has overall increased ever since I started doing this thing. I have like this rule, or it's not like a hard pressed rule, but it's more of like an actual like part of my code. And part of it that I have is like, or what I consider it at least, is I always give credit where it's due. I think I just really want to make sure that the people that I care about or the people that I admire, or people who have like impacted something with me, whether directly or indirectly, like sometimes I just get inspired by random stuff, but like I always try to give credit to where it's due. And I've just started to see how different my world has been, you know, and it kind of seems like it's like a compliment or something. And it's like, no, I'm really just giving you like credit where it's due. Like, I appreciate that. Right. Or like if I see somebody outside and I'm walking past them and I'll be like, they have a cool outfit on. I'm like, you know, nothing where I'm like, oh, it's a dope fit. You keep it walking. Right. Some people take that on and they're like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like I spent so much time on my fit and like, thank you. Oh, this is so great. And some people look at me like, but you want to know what's the most important part to that whole process is that I said what was on my heart, that I spoke my truth and I gave my flowers. And if you can figure out where you can spend your flowers instead of taking the time out to argue with people or to point out the flaws in certain things, I think that's going to be really giving you a different perspective. It is 555 as I say that. So let's get into the rest of that. Yeah, so I hope that gave y'all some insight. But let's get into the signs. I'm not going to lie to y'all, it is stupid hot in this room right now. So in an effort to be this is going to be more rapid pace, I would say. I'm going to be really rapid pace with these, but I'm going to be super thorough about how I am. So typically, y'all know I'll be yapping. I want to rapid fire these, but it's going to be on purpose. So it's in my intention to use these shorter card pulls to give you a more profound insight without any, like, I don't fluff anyway, but you get my point. All right, let's get it. All right, I'm going to start off with Leo. Let's get it. So for Leo, what's this Leo season looking like for you? We have the Hierophant Leo, and on the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Wands. If I'm going to put these both into function, the main portion of this season for you, Leo, is that everyone used to see you as like the next kid on the block, so to speak. Like the best way to put it is that people have always seen your potential, Leo. This is the season where it's less like, it's not potential, like this is who I am. Leo, the whole idea of this Leo season is to have you sit in the seat and at the helm of your own power, right? Kindness, I just saw Anne say, but like kindness is your superpower. When Leos are being genuinely kind, I swear it's like one of the most like, I can't explain it. Like when a true bred Leo is like really showing like their heart and that love, It's all things creative. It's all things romantic, whether it's supposed to be romantic or not. It's just one of those like, oh, wow, this is making me feel something. Leo, you're not just the smoothest person at the club asking out the hottest person anymore. You are the person sitting down being like, yo, I'm establishing this. I've shot my shot so many times at things that I know that it'll just come to me at this point. Your stock is different. You get what I'm saying? So that's something that I do want to point out in terms of that, Leo. I definitely think that y'all are going to start getting a lot more of the credit that you deserve for the things that you do. So that's the main thing I want to point out. I'm going to stick it to the element because that's what I've been doing recently. So let's go on over to Sagittarius real quick because that's what seems what's popping up to me. What we got for Sag for this Leo season. All these pulls, by the way, are for your sun, moon, and rising, but mostly your rising. I pull for rising sign first, but people are used to the sun and moon. Rising sign, most importantly. So, for Sag, we have the World card. The World! No, but we have the World card, right? And on the bottom of the deck, we have the 10 of Wands. Sag, all the stuff that you're having to do, all of the responsibilities you're having to pick up on, all of those aspects of like what you feel like putting the world on your shoulders or putting the team on your back in certain cases. The reason why all of that is happening in this process is because it wants to take you to literally that part of creation where you can form your own world. Sag, this Leo season is going to be a lot of work for you. I'm going to be real. It's going to be a lot of work for you. But the concept of this work that's happening is all going to pull off for a reason. This is like, yo, I put in all this work, this, that, and the third. I'm not being seen for what I'm doing. That's not true. You're being exactly seen for what you're doing. Because if you're continuously pushing the envelope forward, showing how much that you can handle and continue to keep shining despite whatever else is happening, everyone's going to see you start to craft what your own vision is, and people are going to want to turn around and support that. So even if you think you don't have the support that you need right now, Sag, trust and believe that the work that's going to be coming through during this season is going to be guiding you directly to you making exactly what it is that you're aiming for. And for my Aries, right? You, similar to Leo, both of y'all have figured it out. And I think it's hard to really sit there and be like, oh, I figured it out. How do you figure it out? And I'm going to be so real. Maybe you paired with another one. Because at the bottom of the deck, Aries, we have the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups here is really trying to put y'all into a position to where you know that it's okay to partner with people, right? Aries, I know it's a real strong capacity to want to do everything yourself. And like for the most part, you have to a handful of the time. But what this is trying to show is that even if you're going out to do that thing by yourself, in the background, you do need that connection. You do need that sense of partnership. You do need that sense of like camaraderie. You do need to go on a date every once in a while. You do need to really like tell that person that you like them when you have the time or the time calls to it. All of those things are going to be an important aspect to what it is that you are pushing forward. So Aries, just know that you're at the seat of the power and people are also going to be looking to you. Same as Leo, right? But the main aspect to it is how do you step out of that regular portion and really get into the heart of hearts? And this Aries, this is the permission slip to fall in love during Leo season. That's all I got to say. I'm gonna leave it at that. It's your permission to fall in love. Whatever your soul, whatever your soul is aching for, it's your permission to like fall into it because it's going to actually be like more beneficial. Even if it's just like a thought experiment of that, right? That's going to be giving you a lot more context. So to continue forward, we just talked about all the fire signs. Let's hop into the air signs, right? Let's hop into the air signs. So for my airheads, love y'all. Gemini, I keep pulling the Hierophant. I was pulling the Hierophant before for the full moon, but I'm going to just go with this still. Usually I try to reshuffle, but I think the Hierophant keeps popping up for a reason because like the Hierophant knows how to maintain their personal peace while also still pulling in the responsibility from something that's external from them. And what I mean by that is that the Hierophant specifically is supposed to be the Pope. So the concept is I am the one person talking to the higher force, and from that I sit on this throne and I relay it to the people. Gemini, I'm gonna tell you right now, that inner narrator, that inner voice that you have that is probably wiser than you, low-key, that's going to be coming back up. And people are going to really be looking for your take on things, but you have to kind of look back into your past a bit to pull that up properly. So Gemini, I'm gonna say it like this. You're going to have a blast in the past epiphany that hops you into the present moment. And then from there is where you gain that seat of like, oh, I know what I have to do now. Oh, I know that I know what I know. Because that's always been a part of me. It's always been a part of my heart. See how we're getting back to the heart for Leo? Wow. But that's, oh my God. I need to get a new mic stand. So yeah, that's important. Anyone who gets a mini reading, you're getting me a new mic stand so I can not just, like, look how, this is the lightest tap in the world. Too much. Anyway. So I have a Libra sun here. So, all right, let's get it. This is going to be for Libra, right? So for Libra, let's see what we got. Libra, good for y'all. Libra, you're finally moving forward on all the things that you thought everyone else was doing, but like you were actually crafting the entire time. And we also have the Wheel of Fortune in the background. One thing that happens with Libra is that Libra be like, oh my God, everyone's progressing. It's like, yeah, everyone's progressing, but also so are you. That's why they're telling you about it. And it's like, anyway, but the idea when it comes to this Libra, y'all are about to step into a new brand of prowess based on your own relationship to abundance. And I think you're going to realize that your abundance never came from other people. It came from you first, right? Because although there's the concept of this card is that there's a bunch of his homies all in the back. They're running through, they're sliding through to push on into their next adventure and show the world who they are. But the concept of this is that, like, it's not them that made you the powerful person to make that happen. It is you who was a powerful person who then teamed up with those around to then still shine the way that you are. Again, shining, all that Leo season. Who would have thought? But Libra is a good time. You're going to really start to see what it is that you can accomplish during this season, Libra. So that's dope. Okay, for my Aquariums. Aquarium, yeah. All right, so what is happening? All right, Aquarius, you might notice, but you got a secret admirer. I'm just going to put it like you have a secret admirer. That's it. That's all you need to know. No, but for real, Aquarius, you do have a secret admirer. They probably got some bread, low-key, so that's good. They probably got some bread. They got some type of influence. They got some type of pull. So Aquarius, you're in an interesting scenario because it's like, this is like you getting hired to work at this mega corporation, and then as soon as you step into the mega corporation, the boss's daughter looks at you and she's like, "I'm in love," and you're like, "Huh?" Like there's something or like you have a secret admirer. There is somebody who's in a good position or space or some type of influence or affluence that wants to like. I don't even have words. It's just your energy or like towards you. So keep that in mind. Like low key, the person who is secretly admiring you, even if it's not like they want to do something about it, they want to put you into the next position that I think you've been looking for. So just pay attention to people who are actually showing you love. I know Aquarius, y'all love being the nonchalant kings and queens of the zodiac. Oh, it's whatever. Like, yeah, I guess they like me. No, like claim that, talk to them, show them a little bit of that Leo side of love, and they're going to help push you forward the way that they think that you push them forward. Okay, so now I'm going to go over into water, right? Let's talk about the water signs. All right, this is going to be for water. Start off with Cancer, right? So for Cancer, see what we got for you. Cancer, you gonna put yourself to work too. You gonna have to put in this work. Now, here's what's happening though. On the bottom of the deck, Cancer, we have the Queen of Cups. So it's like throughout your season, Cancer, y'all have been able to like really allocate what you're good at. And not even know what you're good at, I want to say this, that emotional part to this Cancer season for y'all has led to y'all really seeing the power that's behind the emotional world that you have. And although you can't necessarily rest immediately afterward, right? With great power comes great responsibility. The other concept of this is that it's like all the work that you're picking up on is the work of someone at a higher position, is a work of somebody who has more prowess, who has like that love that's kind of going to be sent with them in that whole ordeal, right? So what I'm really excited for y'all about in this process is that it's like you get the chance and the opportunity to be the best and be seen as the best. And you don't have to do anything new, but you do have to like still honor the emotions while that work is coming through. So I just wanted to give you all that concept, and I hope that that gives you a little bit more insight in that process. Appreciate the love. Make sure you like the video, you feel me? And if at any point y'all got to leave and go do something else, just like put this video on mute and just like keep your laptop open and walk away, you know what I'm saying? Because like YouTube would be like, that's great watch time. And I appreciate that for sure. I've been slating and trying to get myself to do like solid YouTube videos for a while. And I think that's only going to happen properly, unfortunately, if I do pause my readings, which I've been thinking about it for a bit. I'm going to let y'all know. But if anything, y'all should hit on that. I haven't changed the sales yet because I've been lazy. It's been hot. Not even lazy. I've been working my actual job all day. So I've been just tired. So probably won't change it until tomorrow. So if y'all do want to hop in, because tomorrow I'm putting up the Astro one-on-one price to its regular price, which was $280 from the $150. It's going to be $280 afterward as a recording because that's how much it's going to be worth. But I always want to make sure to look out for the people who are willing to tap in and take my generosity seriously. So let's get into it. Scorpio. Let's get a couple readings for y'all. Let's see what's popping up for Scorpio, right? Okay, Scorpio. We have the Knight of Tennis Balls, Scorpio, but we also have the Page of Tennis Balls, Scorpio. So we have both of these cards. And this is, I would have liked to say, right, the evolution of what's going on with y'all. So for example, every time I pick up this card, no matter what, it's this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Every time, no matter what. I don't know why, but cool. But the idea of this is like the picking this up for the abundance portion of things is like he's ready to plant the seed. The plant. It was Scorpio. I can do that and get away with it. But I will say, when it comes to the Knight of Pentacles in particular, the Knight of Pentacles is trying to show that it's like, you get to push the envelope forward more than you think. And this is like, you're getting, quote on Scorpio, y'all are getting knighted in something. I don't know what it is, but you're like literally getting knighted in something. You're like, oh shoot, you helped save that cat from a tree. As an honorary citizen, we're making you a firefighter. No, I'm playing. But like, there is this like evolution. There is this coming out the shell aspect that's happening for y'all, Scorpio. I think you're going to be continuously advancing, especially when it comes to work, getting your bag. It's a money season. It's a money season and a money time for y'all, Scorpio. Or it's a commitment time in terms of love and romance. Don't know which, but it's one of those. You're welcome. I'll do my best. All right, so let's get on over to Pisces. Wow, that took me a second. All right, Pisces. Hierophant, you are joining the Aries. You're joining Aries. I'm sorry. Yes, you're joining Aries. You're joining Leo. You're joining Gemini, and now it is you, Pisces. All of y'all got the Hierophant, and if all of y'all band together to do something, it's probably going to be like immaculate. So if you know all those signs, figure something out, I guess. But the idea behind this. Oops. Oh, man. I lost the first card. Okay. So we got the Hierophant. Okay. So, Pisces, I literally lost my first card just a second ago. And I was like, yo, where did that card just go? I'm like, never mind. I was like, maybe it's not something that they were supposed to see. Maybe that they don't, maybe they have I didn't say this specifically, but you get the vibe. Like, maybe they're not supposed to see it. Maybe they can't, whatever. And then I pulled oh no, I can't see my blessings card. Oh no, I can't see why I'm so great card. Why is that important to me? Because I think Pisces, y'all have an intense set of emotions. But I think this emotional intensity that's specifically happening for you isn't like, it's disorienting. But I think what the Hierophant is trying to show you is that, like, the moments you think you don't have it together, you still actually do. Because the universe is still trying to move through you, etc. But that's really what I'm kind of getting from that in the process. So I wanted to let you know that, you know? Okay. So this is going to be for the earth signs. And after that, I'm going to hop right into the mini readings. It's the last call for the mini reading queue and your chance to win a free rendition of the Astrology 101 live stream directly to you, if you so choose. So, and the only way I'll be able to send it to you is because then I'll have your email to send you the actual, like, hey, you won aspect. So, like, pull up. All right, so it's going to be for Taurus. What we got going on for... I keep on the Hierophant. One sec. I keep pulling it. I'm pulling up the actual definition of the Hierophant right now because I just keep pulling it and I want to, like, really highlight it specifically from not just my own head, right? That is a terrible explanation. Give me a better explanation. What? Thank you. Okay. Hierophant, spiritual wisdom, religious beliefs, conformity, traditions, and institutions. So, we pulled that for how many signs now? 5? 5 different signs, all different shuffled. Spiritual wisdom is really what I'm getting from this thing. And I think as we step into this Taurus, you are being very indecisive right now. You are being like the sign next to you. You're acting like a Gemini, you know? Respectfully, no, but genuinely. I think it's one of those situations where, like, with that Gemini in between, or that feeling of that Gemini in between, it's like, what do I choose? Where do I go? I want to almost put the other aspect to this Hierophant portion is that slow down and wait for the invitation, which is something I'm taking the concept from human design, as it's taking this entire concept from astrology. But that's not the point. What I am saying, though, is that it's like the aspect to this is you, again, have that spiritual wisdom coming through. You know more than you think you do. So when you feel that hesitation, just go more into a meditative side of things, go more into a rest side of things, and trying to hop up and fix the thing or do the next thing, so to speak, right? So I hope that gives y'all some context. How many... Pull it one more time. I just hear a crow in the background. That's crazy. Oh, man. Virgo, you also got the Hierophant, which is, at this point, that's everyone's card. Everyone's card is the Hierophant. Y'all win. But Virgo, you also got the King of Pentacles. Oh, man, that's crazy. But Virgo, you also got the King of Pentacles, right? So this is also like, you might be more, Virgo, right now, you might be more capable than everybody that's, like, around you. And because of that, you should ease your pace. I'm not saying to slow down. I'm not saying to stop, but you should ease your pace, because the King of Pentacles makes big moves, but it takes him a minute to make them, right? He's like, we could have the royal party here, but, like, I'll let you know in 2 weeks. But once that 2 weeks is up, it happens immediately. It happens swimmingly, and it's perfect. Give me a bit to think about it. King of Pentacles is not worried about your timing, but he's going to worry about the value that comes through. So Virgo, just letting you know, your stock is up, but you also got the Hierophant. So you're going to be chill. So don't worry about it. Just don't force it. Don't stress about it. None of that. Somebody else ordered a live reading. Oh my God, so many people. What are y'all doing? No play. Thank y'all. Appreciate the love. And if you did, I know some of y'all who are getting a mini reading right now, y'all already did get the astrology 101, which much love. And if y'all get the first pull, I'll let y'all gift that to someone that you care about. And then for the other one, I'll just send it to somebody completely new who hasn't got it. So just want to give y'all that context. So if even by proxy, one of y'all who have already paid for it wins, I will let you gift that to the next person that you think likes astrology. And then for the people who have never got it, and then you just got a ticket, dog. So I'm giving out 2 tickets. The more you know. Okay. Wow, that's crazy. And for my last trick of the day, not true, but for my last part, right? Let's get to it. It's going to be for Capricorn. We do indeed all have values, facts. All right, so for Capricorn. Oh, Capricorn. What's the line specifically? Thrones get new kings. Crowns get thrown. Crowns get thrown. Thrones get new kings. Okay. Crowns get thrown. Crown. Do you feel this retrograde coming through? It's Mercury shadow messing me up. Come on, in front of all my friends. Ain't right. Anyway. Crowns get thrown. Thrones get new kings. Why am I saying that? Et tu, Brute. It seems as though Capricorn, I want to put it like this, Cap. I don't know how else to explain this. This is like your biggest op. I'm using a hood language, but that's where I'm, not the point. But screw it. One of your oppies have been tripping a little too hard, and they ain't been able to recover. And because of their inability to recover, Capricorn, you are the next in line to actually do the job. So the funny part about this is that it's like whoever ended up messing with you, dealing with you, just made you a king by accident. This is like, this is a more gruesome thing, and I'm very speculative about this, but I did hear recently that Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, that guy, Sean Combs, was just recently tried, or they put something about him for the death of Tupac, which I have been theorizing for a long time based off of the information that I always read. This is an alleged thing here, and no one really knows what happened. But what I can say is that although that ended up becoming the end of him, Tupac became one of the biggest legends in music. And I think he passed the age of 25. So to give you that concept, it's like anyone who tried to theoretically betray or whatever the case, just capsided themselves. And now you are literally in front and in charge. Congratulations, Capricorn. Thank you for staying the course. When everyone else started tripping, you kept it pushing forward. That's what matters most. And that, my dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, days and gays, men, women, and children of all ages, everybody, every single person. Thank y'all. Okay, cool. Say less. All right. Let's push this on forward, and we're going to get into the mini readings. Thank you all for showing up so far to this. We have a few readings to knock out and get through, and then I'm going to be sitting in front of a fan for the rest of my night. It is hot. So, where is this at? I'm so sorry. I cannot find the thing on my phone. Yes, Pac did do that. Okay, so we're going to go through the Leo season mini reading lives before my brain just entirely just is about everything. Okay, so the first reading we have is going to be Charlene. Congratulations for pulling up and putting in your entry for the Astrology 101. This is going to be for Charlene. Any that comes through, say less. I am going to be pulling I usually do 3 cards for these type deal. I do prefer that when it comes to these. Boom. Okay, bottom of the deck for you. I cannot talk right now. Oh my God. Charlene. Sorry. Cannot. Words. Whatever that is. Channeling. Bringing in info. Words. Can't promise that. The Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is right here, right? So there is this more, I want to say like romantic-ish theme coming through for your Leo season. And yes, there is. All right. I don't know if you have a suitor. I don't know if you're looking for a suitor. I don't know if you've been trying to get that old thing back. I don't know your life in terms of that. But I can say one thing, that although you might have in the past been hurt, dealt with some loss, maybe didn't have all the right formula, quote unquote, to find the love that you felt that you've always deserved. This right here is where all that changes. We have the King of Cups right here. You about to bring yourself on a king or someone of royal stature. And what I mean by royal stature is that they have an energy that's larger than life in terms of how they operate with their emotion, right? So the King of Cups, no matter who it is as a person, has a real ability to like push emotion forward in a way that can like really be beneficial. So this could be the person that comes through, y'all at the cookout, and he's just the person that comes through and makes sure he daps and hugs every single person that he walks by. But because of that emotive and that true interaction, people started to dig in and be like, yo, this person's real. This person's so dope. Oh, I'm so glad. It's such a great catch. That kind of conversation. So just something to keep in mind, that I'm just letting you know there's some love coming in for you potentially during this Leo season if you let it. And the idea too is the Knight of Pentacles is that like it's about really kind of stating truly what it is that y'all are feeling. And then if you do need time, as you're starting to register that, if you do need time to like still work through that old hurt, be very transparent about that. And that's going to be the difference maker. The more transparent you are about that, the more that other person can understand earlier and not feel no type of way about things afterward. You get what I'm saying? Something that I definitely want you to keep in mind in this process as well. So next portion, actually that was your reading. So much love. Hey, Catch the Live, what's good? We about to end it off. We're doing the last of the mini readings right now, but appreciate you for showing up. All right, Mar, let's get it, little homie. All right, so you said the year is a year of abundance, constantly on how magical life is. Love that for you, bro, for real. What advice does the card help you achieve self-mastery, soul tribe, and things to look out for in this Leo season? You always ask really, really thorough questions. I appreciate you. Make sure you show love to the Cap King. I believe it's Chief Marsosa on here. My fault. But anyway, make sure you show him love. This is one of the young caps in Pluto and Capricorn. I'm sorry, in Pluto and Sagittarius coming through, ready to change the world. And I'm so honored to, be a part of that process because he be watching the same folks I was watching to come up. So it's like on some like, it's cool to see that going. So much love to the little homie. Let's see what's going on. How do you make the most of this Leo season? Well, guess what, my friend? Justice is about to be served. So I'm gonna put it like this, bro. I know that you really try your best to be on your like living righteous, moving through everything. 100%. I definitely get that. Ooh, and I accidentally moved it and the Wheel of Fortune came out. So yes, justice is on the side of what you aiming for. Ooh, the Moon card. I'm gonna put it like this, bro. The universe has been putting you through a loop throughout Cancer season specifically. I think it has a lot to do with the last card pull that I did here with y'all, or with you specifically. Go check that out one more time if you don't remember exactly what I said. But the reason why I'm pointing that out is because like the Moon card was like, you were in a really emotive change space over the course of this Cancer season. We all were, but yours was really specific. The reason why I was so specific is because the next card to this is the 10 of Pentacles. So in this process, you're starting to actually establish the abundance that you've been aiming for, right? I think beforehand you were trying to just figure it out. You were just trying to see what was going on. Now you officially have that background, right? That's really the point when it comes to all of this. Now, how does this end off, right? Okay, the way that this ends off is that because justice is being served, you're going to be put in a space of abundance versus whatever you were dealing with in the last season emotionally. You're going to be put back in a space of abundance. And when they give you the abundance, you have to divvy out the abundance, but only to people who were honoring your soul. And that's one of those big things about it. I think, and trust me, I'm also somebody with a really big heart. So I get where it's like, oh, like I want to just make sure that everyone's good and blah, 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 blah. When you get that up, when you get that finesse, that gold coin, you have to make that decision to like decide who gets it and who don't. So that's something I want to point that out. And don't give it to people that you don't rock with. Because like you betraying yourself to help them when they've hurt you is not going to come out the way you want. Just wanted to keep that in mind to you. It's not something to be scared about. The abundance is coming through, brother. But only share it with those who have really honored your soul in that process. All right, so this is for Shafali. What do you got to know for the year 25? Wow. Not a day over 25. No, I got you though. What do you expect for this year coming up? Happy birthday to Shafali. It's your birthday season. It's a Leo in there. Make sure that y'all say happy birthday to one of the Leos of this community. Okay, what to expect from 45? Guess what? Shorty, you done struck the fountain of youth. Congratulations. But for real, what I'm getting from this, as far as like what I'm pulling so far, ooh, interesting. You had a really similar pull to Mars. Oh, I got you. All right. So you had a really similar pull to Mars a second ago. It was in a different order, so I still want to explain it and not reshuffle because I think this is important. When I just pulled what I pulled, you got the Page of Wands where I was like, oh, you just hit the fountain of youth, right? So here's the thing. You also just had a justice-esque type of thing happen throughout this Cancer season. And because of this, you are in your intuitive phase right now. And so this is less you feeling the effects of everybody else. And this is you more honoring your own intuition. So how do you respect that 45? Honoring your own intuition, tapping into your own moon sign. As a matter of fact, as you step into this year, you're going to be feeling more of your Aquarius moon in your personality than you probably have prior. Why am I saying that? Because you're stepping into abundance, but that abundance is going to look not like it looked before. This is like, hey, I always used to do X, Y, and Z to get some money, or like X, Y, and Z to like, I don't know, like just communicate or hop in with somebody and get to know them or something. Like the idea is all the stuff that you thought that you were supposed to do, like that script you were supposed to follow, the Fool card. 40, like this new year is going to be genuinely for you to explore all the possibilities on a whim. I think that there's a certain amount of whimsy that's coming in with this new year and this birthday season that you're having right now. And that's a beautiful thing to see. I'm hyped to see how that plays out for you, but I do think that there is going to be a lot of change in that regard. So happy birthday to you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, infinite growth back, bro. 100%. Happy rebirth day. Happy B-day. I love y'all. Y'all be this is so fun, you know? The internet is so harsh, and then it's like, this is our little corner of making things okay. You love to see it. So this right here is going to be the reading for Elise. I believe it's Elise. I might be wrong. If it's Alice, please correct me, but I think it's Elise. I hate pronouncing people's names wrong. I always say this every time. Okay, so what do you need to find your people? No, but really, what do you need to find your people and move through this longer season of loneliness? Okay, so first of all, just to let you know, you a Libra sun. Libra suns don't stay lonely for long. What I can say, even before I pick up the cards, Cancer season was kicking a lot of people in the butt. With that also being said, let's figure out what it is for you to build more community and find more people around you to start to rock with, right? Let's find out what's up. All right. It's for Elise, then we have one more after this. And that's going to be for, Ooh, hold on. You got some stuff flying out at least. One sec. They said pay attention right now. I'm like, you right. One sec. Boom. Ooh. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do this a little bit weird, but I think this will make more sense to you in this process. I initially dropped a card. I'm really pulling this weird. I initially dropped a card, right? And what I have to say, and I don't normally pull reverse cards because I know when like a card is typically like reverse and I have it upright, that's really unorthodox. If you like to read reverse, that's fine. But I did get the devil card in reverse. And one thing to point out about the devil card, especially in reverse, the devil card and the lover's card are the same card. They're just on different sides of the spectrum, right? One of them is about love, totality. We're as close to each other as we can. And the other one is like Alice. All right, good luck. And the other one on the flip end of that is a lover. So right now you're having this dichotomy between like, I think you're starting to slowly set yourself free of what maybe your older expectation was. The reason why I'm saying that is because you got the Emperor card on the bottom of this too. So I think where you're feeling in your solitude isn't, I know that it might feel lonely, but I think this is that one thing I was mentioning before with Libras, where sometimes y'all get so caught up in being around everything else or everyone else that it's like, oh, I'm getting this talent from them. Oh, I'm getting this vibe from them. Like, nah, like you're getting that from you. And what's coming of this right now? Well, we have the High Priestess card. The reason why you've been alone for a second is because you're into it. Oh, that was by accident. That was not at you at all. But in terms of that, that was to the haters though, that they led you in this position in the first place. But what I can say, when it gets to this High Priestess card, you're really honing in on your intuitive part to you, your intuitive gifts, right? And you're about to start heading out to the Knight of Wands and starting to like really like head out, be a little bit more social coming up in this Leo season. Like it is coming through. And I'm gonna let you know right now, in your absence, Alice, you know, you might be like, oh, I've been alone. There's been people at the functions being like, yo, where's she at? Oh, remember when she used to come out? Oh, no, I just haven't seen her. So like, keep in mind that although it might be feeling like, you know, the world is like whatever, sometimes, and unfortunately, people just need to see certain people around for them to be like, oh my God, here you are. But that's kind of what I'm sensing with this. I wouldn't take this as anything inherently negative. I just think that this is something where you're about to change, be more on that social game, but you needed some time alone in order for you to really like harness that power. And as that power gets harnessed and as that intuition gets harnessed, you're about to just snap into that next part of things. Whew. So that's something to be happy about. That's fire. All right, cool. I'm glad that you came through to get a reading, and much love. Okay, this one is going to be for Nyx, and this is the last one of the evening. So, any insight on love would be lovely. Say less. So, Nyx, let's see what we got for you, right? And Leo season is the season of love. So, I will say Leo season in general is a better time to go on dates, find people who you want to date, and also get to Sheboygan if you are in the the lane of that. But this is for Nyx in general, right? Let's get it. Love life. What's the word? What are we seeing? What we sensing? What we feeling? Okay, so we got the Justice card on the bottom of the deck. Right. The Justice card is trying to show where it's like, I got just a second ago, like all is fair in love and war. I don't particularly know why, but that just hopped out as soon as I pulled that over. It's like all is fair in love and war. I'm like, The reason why I think that's coming through is because like you also had one of those Cancer seasons of just like, what's going on? What's happening in my life? Like, you know, like the instincts are like in this weird space. There's a lot of like different change in terms of all that. Right. Now, here's the other process to this. We then have the Page of Wands. So you're talking about love in your life. This is somebody who's trying to come through. So here's the thing. Whoever's trying to come through as a suitor, I'm going to put it like this. They're not going to be like 100% ready for a relationship, or they're not going to be 100% in maybe the power of what you typically want in somebody. Like they're not there yet. That's not necessarily a bad thing. That's not like anything disrespectful, but they're just not there quite yet. And what's coming through with that though is that, with that being said, they're here to inspire your happiness. So one thing that I want to point out for you, Nix, about the like love and summer and all that other stuff is that like you're about to be in this position to where you're taking all of the core elements, right, of what it means to be in harmony. And that's what really was this person is trying to point out. So if you do have some type of summer fling about to pull up and come through, it's about you learning how to be in harmony with somebody else, not particularly maybe how much money they have or what job they have or inspirations or aspirations. This is just somebody who kind of wants to come through and really care about you. And I'm not saying this is a forever thing either, but I can say this is somebody I would recommend at least giving a chance to. And I think they're going to show you a lot about camaraderie and partnership versus just like finding the one. So I hope that gives you some context. And yeah. Okay, I need to put a fan on. I love y'all though. I love y'all. I appreciate you. I have stayed in this very hot studio to make sure with no fan, just to make sure y'all heard this information for this Leo season. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all who always be popping up. And it's beautiful and it's all love. And thank you so much for y'all time. So with that being said, appreciate you. Make sure that you pull through for the Astrology 101 this Saturday if you want. End up booking a reading because I'm low-key probably going to take those down in a bit. And yeah, I don't know. Much love to you. And I'll talk to y'all soon.